This the time we broke down after meeting our new manager. So, y'all all know the story of how our first channel got deleted, and before then we was trying to get a manager, trying to get an agent, and because of the channel getting deleted, when all our videos were coming back fast, all our subscribers were coming back fast, our views were coming back fast, people thought this was a new channel, and people started reaching out, wanting to represent us. So that terrible situation turned out to be a blessing in disguise. So now, instead of us reaching out and trying to get representation, we could filter through the representation that's reaching out to us. So one stood out amongst the crowd. It was a fan of ours at the time, and she was like, my mom is in the industry. My granddad was in the industry for a long time, and my mom works at this company and this company, just left that company and is looking to get back into managing. So, and then she said she also lives in LA, blah, blah, blah. So the resume was lining up, everything that we were looking for. Definitely an LA-based manager, definitely someone who knew the industry and been in Hollywood. Those are all the things we needed. So we set up a meeting that was literally, I would say, an 8-minute walk from my house, 3-minute drive from the house. So we drive. Should have walked, but we drive. So we drive over there, and I think it was like a coffee shop or one of them, like, you know, one of them little chain restaurants where you can just get a drink or whatnot. And the meeting goes well. We hit it off, we hit it off, we got good chemistry, and we're like, all right, you know what? You don't want to just, you know, a big decision like that to say, like, let's do this. You want to play the game. So we like, all right, let us go relay it back to the others because it wasn't all of us, and we'll get back to you, give you a decision. So she's like, okay, cool. So we all hug, we go our separate ways. So now we hype, and we like, hey man, I think she the one. That's a good manager right there. So we get in the car, we drive to the light. It's a red light, and we just going off, still talking. Like, yeah, man, it's gonna be good. I think she the one. So then the light changed green. I pressed the gas, cause I'm driving, and do-do-do-do-do. Like, what the heck? Now, granted, this car ain't never given me problems at the time, so I'm kind of like, what's going on here? Like, it can't be gas. I got a tank. It can't be a battery. I already got a new battery in it. Like, what's up? So I do what every man does when his car breaks down. I get out, pop the hood, and I look under it. Now, to be honest, I don't know nothing about cars, so I don't know what I was looking for. If it was a smoke or something, I can't identify what's wrong. So I'm just there looking at it. Can't really do nothing because I don't know nothing. So I get back in the car and everyone like, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know nothing about cars. So we sitting in here like, all right, what are we gonna do? Let me try cranking it again. Click, 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 click. It's not cranking up. So I'm like, all right, it just came on perfectly. So I can't tell you what's the problem. So now we sitting here and we get hunks. People hunking. And I'm like, y'all don't see that my hood is up, go around. But I guess the way it was like a slight hill or something. So I guess maybe since they was a little bit lower than us, they couldn't see it. So they just kept hunking and hunking. So I get upset and I pop the trunk. And everybody know when somebody pop the trunk, what's about to happen. They gonna pull out a gun. Luckily for them, I didn't have a gun, but I had my roadside assistant kit that I pulled out, and I took out 3 cones and put it right behind my car so that people, by the time they coming up, they can see this car is broken down, and I put on my hazards. So always have a roadside assistant kit in your trunk. It comes in handy when you gotta pop it. So why you shaking your head? So now I get back in the car and I'm like, all right, either we gonna have to push this or get this towed. And at the time, you know, we in Atlanta, fresh out of college. We ain't necessarily don't want to spend that money, so we like, all right, let's see what the logistics of pushing this is. So I get out the car again. I'm looking, I'm like, all right, the house is over there, but if we push this, we can't go back down the hill because you won't be able to stop the momentum of the car. So we would have to go up, make a right, hit the main street. And like, that's just way too much. And I'm just like, you can't do that. So we was like, we're gonna have to call a tow person. So I get back in the car and I'm like, anybody, y'all can pitch in? All right, so I had to pitch all it in to get this tow truck. So I called the tow truck and I'm like, hey, can you come get us? We're here, such and such, such and such. He said, bet, all right, be there in 30 minutes. Like, all right. So now we just sitting here and we always make the best of these situations because it ain't no reason to keep stressing further. I'm like, it's funny. So we just cracking jokes and everything. Every once in a while I get out the car because it's getting kind of hot. And I'm like, you know what? This can't get any worse. And as soon as I said that, so we were at where we were stopped at as a big intersection. There was another car full of these white frat boys at the light going east and west, basically. And while I'm standing outside the car looking in the hood again, I don't know what I'm looking for, I hear the car, I hear the green, I see the green light, so I hear the cars going, and I hear So I look, and the white guy is like, you guys are broke as fuck. And they laughing. And I was like, not necessarily, tad bit, but not necessarily. Also, I was thinking. So I yelled back, not necessarily. I ain't had nothing in the moment. I just said, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I had to yell it too, because they driving up. Not necessarily. And I just had to get back in the car and think about that moment until the tow guy came. So then the tow truck eventually come, and if y'all don't know, tow drivers, they the best drivers. The way this man was whipping that thing so efficiently, pull up, 3-point turn, whipping that thing one arm, got us on the thing, and he was cool enough to give us a ride too. So he take us, and it's literally like a 2-minute drive, 3-minute drive, if that, right into our neighborhood. And he was so cool, he didn't even charge us. He like, man, y'all some young dudes. This was just right there. Y'all ain't gotta pay me nothing, y'all good. So he dropped us off. He put in a space for us, and I had to call the mechanic. And eventually he came. I can't remember what it was, but it was some issue that I didn't know about. But that was the time that we broke down right after meeting with our future manager. And yeah.
Yelling not necessarily is one of the funniest things.
I ain't have nothing, dog.
Nothing I can do.
I was gonna say, yeah, or F y'all. I ain't that type of person. Fuck you. No, ain't me. Not necessarily. That's me though.
Cause that's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Cause I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't getting to it, but I wasn't necessarily broke. I had a job.
Yeah.
So not necessarily.
That's a perfect answer.
I was closer to the bottom than the top, but not necessarily.
If they would have got out and have a conversation, they would have understood. Like,
I would ask them, can you help push? It's a lot of y'all. There's 4 of them in there. Big frat dudes. They look like, what's them 2 brothers? Jake Paul in them. Yeah, like those type white dudes. Yeah. So they was in like a Jeep Wrangler, some big SUV with the douche shades on. You know how it go. So I said, not necessarily. Stop judging people. Can happen to anybody. Everybody had car trouble before.
Yeah, hopefully they in a different place.
Hopefully, I ain't holding no grudge against them.
Yeah.
This is my first time thinking about it.